What's going on, YouTube? It's ya boy, Cam ATL, and welcome back to another MLB High Five video with ya boy. Thank you guys for joining me as always. Drop a like down below, comment anything in the comments section other than fuck you, Cam. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and thank you guys for joining. Alright, so, not going to keep up too much of your time. As always, last night at greenlightdfs.com, we stayed up till midnight and dropped the early prize picks plays that we love the most before everybody jumps on there and the lines change and adjust and all that stuff. We got in before. We've been having a ton of success at jumping in early. And once again, we did it again. We were able to get 7 plays that we really liked that seemed like the value was there. Woke up this morning and 5 of those 7 have already been adjusted the way that we took them. So on the unders they went down, on the overs they went up. So it's exactly what we were expecting them to do, and they did. So that's fantastic. It's looking like it should be another great day. I mean, we've been absolutely the success we've had on Prize Picks has been pretty mind blowing. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not shocked by it because I mean I put work in on that shit. But at the end of the day, it's been fantastic, and it's just super exciting for me because it's just another thing that we're able to succeed at. You know what I mean? Like I like to challenge myself at finding different ways that we can just excel and just find success. And we've been able to do that. We just consistently be able to add to it and just do big things in the industry. And I'm just excited for the future. I'm excited to keep it going. So anyway, greenlightdfs.com, join the squad. Let's have a huge day in DFS, baby. Let's have a big one. We still got a game in course. Course slates tend to go the way you don't expect them to go most times, but it's pretty a self-explanatory, simple-ish looking slate today, honestly. I mean, you have 2 bad pitchers in course. You have Sensatella, who has power, it gives up too much power, and Davies, who gives up too much power. So both of these guys are just not good pitchers. So either side of this Colorado-Arizona game makes sense. To be honest with you, most of my natural leans have been to Arizona over Colorado, but I completely understand the Colorado guys, especially the lefties, Ryan McMahon, Charlie Blackmon. These guys, especially, should have are in solid spots for sure. But Arizona, as seems like anytime they play, they're super cheap. I mean, their prices are just always incredibly low. So we're going to talk about the strategy that I really like on this slate, and because of those prices in cores being kind of reasonable, we're able to get cores and still get the pitchers we want. So I'm not going to screw around at all, especially in the high five, where I encourage you guys to go, the best pitching possible. We'll talk about other options because there's some good pitching on this slate, which is why I was able to get 7 prize picks out pretty easily of guys that I really liked. Carlos Rodon and Max Scherzer. Okay, both of these guys are at home facing offenses that are not good. Now Philly's not horrible, but they're without Bryce Harper already, and then Kyle Schwarber left with a calf strain yesterday. So Kyle Schwarber most likely will not be in the lineup. This Philly offense is without Harper and Schwarber. Those are the only 2 guys I'd even worry about in this offense. I mean Alex Bohm or whatever I say the dude's name. Bohm is a rising star. That dude is going to be solid. He's got some swag too. I like that dude's game, period. But he's not somebody I really fear like that. Like, I'm not going to avoid a pitcher because of him. You know what I mean? Kyle Schwarber's a guy who could double dong against a guy. Bryce Harper's a guy who could double dong. Both of them are out. Max Scherzer already is one of the best pitchers in the entire league. I mean, this dude's a monster, and it's just the matchup's way too good here. All right? Philly, like I said, is a watered down offense. They're not going to be looking good at all tonight against the Mets, with Scherzer being at home. Carlos Rodon also at home against the Pirates. I don't even got to explain that. Pirates been the worst offense in the league all year. You pretty much just lock any pitchers against them, and it should be a good day for you. So Rodon and Scherzer, fantastic spots. I absolutely love these 2 guys. Now let's talk about your other options, because if you want to say, you know what, I'm going to fade the possible huge upside that these guys have, which is scary. I have them projected over 26, both of them. You can see the difference between the next highest, 19 for Kopech. Like, that's a huge difference, okay? And these guys have those 40s in them, where I don't think any of these guys have 40s in them. All right, but let's talk about it. Rodon and Scherzer are my guys, but outside of them, Michael Kopech is at home in Chicago going against Detroit. Now, Kopech has been solid at home. At home for the White Sox, his called strike plus whiff rate, which is kind of a good, like I've talked about this number before. This is a stat that I really like to look at for pitchers. It's a solid stat to look at because it kind of combines everything you really want in a pitcher when you're picking them. Kopech is at home going against a Detroit team that has struggled a lot versus righties. They're striking out a ton, like something like 28% over the last 14 days or something like that against righties. Kopech's only 7-1. So there's other options on this slate that are solid. Like Kopech's in a fantastic option. We grabbed him at over 5.5 on Price Picks. Fantastic choice. Clevenger, not too much on him. Washington doesn't strike out a ton. Clevenger hasn't been the greatest on the road. He was at 5.5. We grabbed him at under 5.5. He's now at 5. Jordan Montgomery, in a solid spot here. This is another guy that I like here because Jordan Montgomery has done well at home. Now, this is a new team for St. Louis, but still, he's still at home, gets that luxury of, being at home. Going against Milwaukee that struggles a lot versus lefties. They strike out a lot versus lefties, all right? A lot of their feared bats are lefties. Yelich, Tellez, these big bomb bats, they're lefty guys. So Jordan Montgomery has had some good numbers, and I talked about that CSW stat that I was talking about for Rodon and Scherzer and Kopech, and these guys having good numbers in their positions. Jordan Montgomery at home has a solid one as well. He's like top 30, top 40, something. Top 30, I think. It's like a over 30% CSW, which is solid. The league average is like 27. So Jordan Montgomery being up there in the 30s, I mean, he's in a fantastic spot, especially in a high strikeout team like Milwaukee. I think he gets about 6-7 Ks probably in a solid outing at 6-8. So, and Patrick Sandoval. So right here, and Tyler Mahle. All right, so there is pitching on this slate that are solid options. It's just you have guys who are way above the rest up here. But Kopech, Montgomery, Sandoval, and Mahle are all guys that I have interest in. I'm not as big in Kirby in cash games, especially as I am these other guys. These are my main core guys, starting from Mahle up. I have Clevenger priced high just because, honestly, I'm going to adjust that before your eyes. I don't really want a ton of people playing him against Washington. 14.2 sounds about right, but I'll just do 14.5 because who puts 14.2? That's ridiculous. Anyway, 14.5 sounds about right. So I like him right around the Tony Gonsolin range and the Corey Kluber range, but I don't like him up here with the Montgomerys, Kopechs, and Sandovals. All right. Anyways, let's change to hitters. So now that you have that idea, so pretty much Rodon and Scherzer, just to break down pitching really quick, like a brief rundown finale. Rodon and Scherzer are miles above the rest. Both of these guys both have slate-breaking potential today in their matchups. All right. Then you have all those rest of those guys: Montgomery, Kopech, Sandoval, Mahle. All those guys are reasonable guys, and you can go those guys, especially if you're making multiple lineups and GPPs. If you want to spend down for both of them and hope that one of Rodon or Scherzer somehow get rocked tonight, then that's a decent strategy. If you're playing multiple lineups, why not? All those other guys are solid guys. Do I think those other guys will hit 25? Sure, but are they going to hit 40? That's the thing that I think the floor is solid for Rodon and Scherzer, and I think the upside's too big, especially with the value and the bat options that you have on this slate. There's really no need to spend down, but those mid-range pitchers are fantastic today in good spots. All right. Let's go to first base. My favorite first baseman today is going to be Christian Walker. So not only has Christian Walker had an amazing season so far in Coors, he's just been fantastic in Coors. It's like over a 400 ISO in the 14 plate appearances that he's seen in Coors this year. I know that's not a huge sample size, but it's fantastic. It's to get a kind of an idea. I looked at that just to kind of get an idea of how they've been in Coors this year, the Arizona squad. And Christian Walker leads this team. I mean, we already know what this guy's about. This dude's a bomb threat at any point. He's been hitting the ball incredibly hard. Now he's going against Sensatella, who struggles versus righty power. Christian Walker's in a fantastic spot, and he's only 4-1. This is the point that I was saying earlier, is that it's not often that you get Coors players, at least stud Coors players, for under 5K or under 4.5 even. But 4-1 for Christian Walker is fantastic. Another guy that I really love on this team is going to be Dalton Varshall. Dalton Varshall is another guy who he's just got incredible power. He's got the lefty-righty matchup against Sensatella. He's got incredible power, and in a game in Coors where power just suits guys well, Dalton Varshall is a guy that I'm really, really liking. He should be batting in the core part of this order. I'm really, really liking Varshall as well, and look at that price, 4-2. I mean, it's just they're pricing these guys a little cheap. All right, plain and simple. Now, in GPPs, the way that DraftKings has priced these guys is kind of like they're pushing you on Arizona. So if you want to get slick and you want to get lower owned, which will definitely be lower owned getting off of Arizona, would be probably trying to fit in any Colorado guys you can. Starting off with this guy as a value play. As you can see, he's up there in the stud range. Montero, just because of opportunity at 2.7, I want him played in as many lineups as possible. That's why I haven't projected this high in the optimizer. Aluris Montero at 2.7. I haven't projected at 8.9. He's a fantastic option, in my opinion. This dude's been very consistent, solid, batting over 300. He's only 2.7 in course. Montero is the value guy of the day. And he is the guy that opens things up even more. And in another reason why Rodon and Scherzer are kind of my two stud guys. And then if I can get the cores guys that I really want and get some really solid bats and as well have them paired with Rodon and Scherzer, I mean, once the slate locks, I'm feeling comfy. You know what I mean? I might not even check, but the check, money I've made later on after the slate's over. Because, I mean, it's a lock. If you know what I'm saying, if this slate's going exactly how I'm thinking it's going to go, it's feeling like it's going to be a solid day. But it's a pretty obvious day as well at certain spots. You know what I mean? So to be different would be to get off of the Rodons or Scherzer and play some of those Montgomery guys, mid-range Sandoval guys, those type of options. I want to talk about Sandoval again because Sandoval, it just popped in my head because I mentioned his name. When I was doing my research on him, Sandoval at home has like over a 31 CSW percent, which is elite level. At home this year, he has been elite at home when it comes to called strike plus whiff, which means his strikeout chances are high. You know what I mean? And then the matchup is solid as well. So he's a guy who could get some solid. He has some solid upside potential at his price. But anyway, there's the high five, guys. Rodon, Scherzer, Christian Walker, Montero, and Varshall is the high five for today. Thank you guys for joining me as always, man. Good luck, everybody. Remember, do something good for somebody today. Keep that positive energy. Do something for somebody. It doesn't have to be financially. Just be there for somebody. Be there for people. Fucking have a good day. Everybody, have a blessed weekend. Be safe. It's Friday, so y'all go crazy, but be safe. All right, peace out, y'all.